In the fall of 1975, six loggers tore down a dirt road in Arizona, white-knuckled, shouting over each other, certain they just watched their friend get blasted by a UFO. For 5 days, he was gone. When he returned, the story he told, medical tables, bright lights, gray figures with black eyes, would become one of the most famous abduction cases in history. This is the Travis Walton incident, the true story behind Fire in the Sky. November 5th, 1975, their crew was on a U.S. Forest Service thinning contract near Turkey Springs, not far from the town of Snowflake, Arizona. 7 men total. Travis Walton, Mike Rogers, the foreman, and co-workers Ken Peterson, John Goulet, Steve Pierce, Alan Dallas, and Dwayne Huff Smith. They worked chainsaws until dusk, piled into Rogers' 1965 International pickup, and headed out along rutted logging road toward Highway 277. As the sun collapsed in a cobalt sky, the men saw a glow ahead, like a fire burning just off the road. When the truck crested a rise, they froze. Hanging 20 to 30 feet above a clearing was a metallic disc, roughly 20 feet across, tilted slightly, a blue-green light pulsing from its underside. It emitted a high-pitched mechanical hum, not thunderous, but bone-deep. Before anyone could stop him, Travis jumped out. He walked into the clearing, drawn like iron to a magnet. The craft wobbled, the hum climbed. Rogers shouted for him to get back, and then a flash. Witnesses described it like a bolt of blue-green energy striking Travis in the chest. His body arced backward like a rag doll and slammed to the forest floor. The crew erupted in panic. Rogers floored it. The truck fishtailed away in gravel and pine needles. Half a mile down the road, they stopped. Conscience and shock collided. Rogers turned the truck around. When they drove back into the clearing, the craft was gone, and so was Travis. The men barreled into Heber and called authorities. Navajo County Sheriff Marlon Gillespie met them that night. Deputies and volunteers searched until 3 a.m., then again at dawn with hundreds of searchers, dogs, and a helicopter. Rumors spread. Some suspected a hoax. Others whispered the crew had fought and someone was dead. The UFO an excuse. Under pressure, the 6 men agreed to polygraph tests. On November 10th, 5 of the 6 passed a state license examiner's test stating they had not harmed Travis and had indeed seen a strange craft. One test came back inconclusive, not a fail. The examiner's written opinion, their story was truthful. 5 days after the blast, late on the night of November 10th, Travis's brother-in-law answered a payphone at an Exxon station in Heber. A thin, terrified voice whispered, "Come get me. I'm at the phone booth." They found Travis crumpled behind the gas station, disoriented, beard stubble grown in, claiming he'd been gone only hours. After rest and medical checks, Travis recounted a story burned into his nervous system. When the beam hit, he blacked out. He woke on a narrow curved table under a wide glaring light. The air smelled chemical, metallic. His chest ached, a pressure like being held beneath the water. 3 small figures stood over him. Pale, gray skin, smooth domed heads, huge black eyes, slit nostrils, slit-like mouths, no hair. Panic detonated. Travis sprang off the table, grabbed a tubular object, a rod or canister, and swung, screaming to keep them back. They didn't attack. They simply watched, heads tilting, unreadable. The beings retreated. Travis darted down a corridor into a large chamber. In the center stood a chair with a single control lever. When he gripped it, the walls came alive with stars, like a planetarium dome. As he nudged the lever, Constellation's yacht rotated as if the entire craft was a simulator. A human-looking figure appeared, tall, athletic, wearing a helmet and blue uniform. He smiled but didn't speak, motioning gently for Travis to follow. They moved into a massive bay with other craft parked like silver stones. Beyond, he met two more human-like people, male and female, both silent, both with the same placid expression. They guided him into a table. A translucent mask descended. Travis tried to push up, then blackout. His next memory, waking on the cold ground near Heber, watching a disc rise silently through the pines and vanish. He stumbled to the payphone. Doctors examined him. Dehydrated, minor abrasions, but no major trauma. One nurse noted a single puncture in the crook of his elbow. Meanwhile, media detonated. The National Enquirer offered cash for best UFO case. Skeptics mobilized. The logging crew's contract got tangled. Reputations imploded. Skeptics said it was a hoax, an accident cover-up, or hallucinations. Believers pointed to 6 witnesses, polygraphs, panic, and Travis's consistent story. Travis published The Walton Experience in 1978. Hollywood adapted it in 1993 as Fire in the Sky. The film exaggerated some imagery, but the beam, the missing time, the witnesses, all rooted in his account. If Travis Walton is telling the truth, then a cold November night in 1975, the universe reached down into a stand of Arizona pines and took a human being for reasons we still don't understand. And if he isn't, we're left with a different riddle. How 7 people carried a lie through polygraphs, panic, search parties, decades of scrutiny, and never broke. Either way, the fire in the sky never went out. It just moved behind our eyelids, where the dark gets loud. You've been watching Joshua Tree Encounters. If this pulled you into the trees, hit subscribe, drop a comment with the next case you want, and share this with someone who thinks we're alone. Good night from the desert. Keep your eyes up.